Hey guys, you're watching Cutie Crafts. Today I will be showing you how I made these beautiful Minecraft sea turtles that I absolutely love. This is probably my favorite Minecraft project that I've made so far because I love turtles and nobody actually requested this. I just really wanted to make the turtles because I think the design is so cool, and I also happened to find an area in my world that was full of turtles. So I'm going to show you a little bit of footage of me at my turtle cove, and if you want to skip right to the tutorial, there will be a timestamp in the comments below. Let's go find some turtles. Welcome to my turtle cove. I named this place Turtle Cove because I found these turtles chilling over here, and as you can see, their design is a bit complicated because they're not just a rectangular shape. They have this kind of flattened T shape. These two here are the proud parents of these future baby turtles. They are still in the middle stages of hatching, but soon we will have some babies coming out to repopulate Turtle Cove. And here's some more. I also found this guy here. Oh, he's swimming right now, but this guy, he is the proud father of these babies that have all grown up. And then we got some more turtles to populate this area. Over there is what I like to call Turtle Bay because that's where I found my first two turtles, and that area is a great place for all these guys to go swimming. And I also have this huge sand castle that I made so that I can sleep here while watching over all of these eggs. Oh, these guys have hatched! Yes, I got two new baby turtles down there. Look how cute they are. Oh, is there another one here? Yes! These guys hatched too. Oh, they're so tiny and small. So these guys will be part of the Turtle Bay population. Yay! Let's see what they look like when they're swimming. Here, get in the water. Let's go. I love these guys so much, especially when they're swimming. You can see that their shells are really detailed and they have lots of different colors, so I try my best to use as many green shades that I could find. Especially the top of the shell, it's really detailed and just so beautiful. If any of you guys have found turtles in your world, they're just so fun. I really love the design of these guys, and I try my best to replicate it as closely as possible. And without further ado, let's get started with the designs. I used a mix of perler and art cal beads for this project. On the left are perler dark green, tan, evergreen, teal, bright green, and creme. And on the right, I've got art cal S9, S71, S80, and S81. These were the best midi bead colors that I had at the time, but for mini beads I had a lot more shades that you'll see later on. Here's the pattern for the carapace, or the top of the shell. Pause the video so that you can copy down the patterns, and don't be afraid to change up the colors so that you can make your own unique turtle. These pieces will make the sides of the turtle's shell. Here is part of the plastron, or the bottom of the turtle shell. This is the rest of the plastron and also the turtle's head. And lastly, we can't forget the fore and hind flippers so that this turtle can swim around in the ocean. To fuse the beads, I could have ironed directly on the board, but just to be safe, I used the tape method. I wanted to try making a tape square that covers up the entire pegboard so that I can reuse it multiple times to take the beads off of the pegboard for ironing. My Minecraft characters usually have a matte finish to them because I use ironing paper, but I wanted my turtle to have a nice shiny shell, so I'm using some ironing film. I've been trying out Art Cal's mini iron since it's a lot smaller and more convenient, and I set it to max heat, which is the cotton setting. Usually my iron is set at number 3, which is the polyester setting, so it really depends what kind of iron you have. Just make sure your iron is not too hot because any over ironing of these kind of puzzle pieces will cause them to not click together properly. It took me just over a minute to fuse this side of the piece, and I flipped it over and peeled off the tape gently so I can reuse it for the other pieces. I placed an ironing film on the other side and again ironed in circular motions for around a minute. And while it cools, squash it with a heavy textbook. Using the same tape and ironing film, I ironed the rest of the pieces. You guys should get the idea by now. After all these pieces have cooled down and are nice and flat, it's time to assemble. These are the pieces for the turtle's head. The plastron is a bit tricky to assemble because you need to have the right orientation of the side pieces. These two beads here should be the ones that touch the solid green piece. Before clicking in the sides of the shell, it's easier to place the flippers in at this point. I'm using Art Cal acrylic rods to do this, but you could also use toothpicks. This part can be tricky too because the holes might be too small for the rod to go through, so you might have to use a knife to widen it. Once the rod went through the leg piece, I put it through the plastron piece and I used some clippers to cut the rod. Then I did the same for the rest of the flippers. Remember to put the flippers closer to the edge so that you can get them to move. Now we can attach the sides of the shell. Before closing the turtle shell, we have to put on the head, again with an acrylic rod or a toothpick. And finally, we can close the shell up with this beautiful carapace. You could also probably hide stuff in this turtle, like a wad of cash or, I don't know, candy. And that is how I made a beautiful Minecraft sea turtle with movable flippers and a shiny green shell. Before making this big midi bead turtle, I made a smaller turtle using mini beads. I prefer this one a lot more because it's so cute and small, and also I like the colors in this one much more. I had more shades of green and also some different colors for the plastron. This one looks a bit more like the one in game with the correct colors. I just didn't have the same colors for midi bead size, so that is my baby turtle or teenager turtle. I used ArtCal mini bead rods to attach the flippers. If you don't have this, it can be difficult to find something that can go through those tiny holes, so maybe try a paper clip or some string could work too. I love working with mini beads because you can get all the same details but in a much smaller size, so I love this baby turtle, and the large turtle is cool too. It's just that with the mini beads I happen to have more colors than for midi beads, so it looks a bit better. But both of them are still beautiful turtles and I love them so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you get a chance to recreate this, I would love to see it, and you can tag me at CutieCrafts on Instagram or Twitter so that I can check out your majestic turtles. I showed these two to my red-haired slider Koopa. I think she enjoyed meeting these new turtles since she lives alone currently. Say hello. If you like turtles as much as I do, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, turn on your notifications and hit that notification bell so that you'll be updated on my latest videos. And I'll see you guys next time with another cutie craft. Bye!